Hey everyone, I'm the wood burning guy up here in Amish country, Ohio. Today I'm going to show you this zero clearance wood burning fireplace. In a past video, I mentioned that we have owned basically one out of every category of wood burning appliance. One of these, a wood cook stove, a freestanding stove, and a wood burning insert. And this is different from an insert in one major way, and that is the zero clearance fireplace is inside 2x4 framing on the inside there. There's literally no masonry work behind there. We have a stone facade, but there is a shroud going around that stove that you can't see, and then we have our an actual cast iron wood stove inside here. So this is a Napoleon NZ26, NZ as in November Zulu. This is not made anymore. If I had to date it, I would say maybe early 2000s, but manufacturing date range is kind of hard to come by. I've done a little bit of research, but it doesn't matter. You can't get these anymore, but you can get something very similar. This came at different trim levels, and like I said, it's an NZ26 made by Napoleon, and I like using this. It does put off a lot of heat, maybe not as much as the La Nordica cook stove over there, but it still does very well. And what I mean by that is that here I don't have a six-sided box to put out the heat. You see the grill here pumps out warm air. There's a fan, a squirrel cage fan down there. It draws air in through this grill and then blows it out the top. Other than that, we get radiant heat coming off the front, and it does a pretty good job of heating this room, which has a vaulted ceiling and is about 30 by 30. That's kind of the main room of our house. So due to the high ceilings in here, the vaulted ceiling, we had to have a pretty tall chimney pipe, and so this thing drafts very well. I've never had any issues with backdrafting whatsoever because of that tall chimney. Down here, this grill opens up. We have a removable ash pan, which I don't really use. I found that it was kind of leaky. Full disclosure, I bought this fireplace. I keep calling it a stove, but it's actually a fireplace. I found that was kind of leaky. I had to modify, actually I don't want to pull it out because I'm about to light it off, but I had to modify some rope gaskets up underneath there, and once I did that, I was able to slow down the burn. I found even with the air control closed off pretty much all the way, things were burning out of control. So there's the air control. I'm going to open that up all the way, so getting ready to light it off. And what that does is it raises a gate valve back in here, and I can control how much of the room air I want or outside air. I actually have a tube that goes up, back down, and out the wall outside, so I can pull outside air if I like. The reason it goes up and back down is so that it's kind of the reverse of a P-trap or S-trap on a sink drain or something of that nature. Over here, just a 120 volt switch for our fan control, and then I don't know if you can see it back in there, probably not enough light, but we have, yeah, it's too dark. That's a squirrel cage fan back there, which I think if you had to change it out, no problems accessing that at all, as long as your arms are somewhat thin. Okay, we have double doors, fire brick, piccolo tubes for some reburn. I believe this log holder may have some holes on the back side, I'm not sure. But anyway, that air intake there feeds air from behind the fire brick, and the exhaust gases travel up, loop back around, travel that way, and then up. Let's see how big our firebox is here. Okay, we have, I call it a good 16 by, at the front, let's call it 23, a little narrower in back. So I can fit a pretty good sized log in there. This season, using mostly white oak, good old iron sides, great wood to burn. It's kind of like burning coal. It holds a blue flame for a long time. If you can acquire some, I highly recommend it. It holds a blue flame for a long time, and then it'll sort of ash over, burns very slow, very hot. And it's kind of like burning coal in that sometimes I have to go stoke it, break it apart, and then it lights off again. Great wood. I'll be sad when I'm through all my white oak, but that's what we're burning this year. So, yeah, there you have it. Napoleon NZ26. Just kind of a light review. Like I said, it is a used stove, but the rope gaskets, all in great shape. We sort of alternate back and forth between this and our La Nordica XXL, Rosa XXL wood cook stove for heating this room, like I said, which is about 30 by 30, the main room of our house. And yeah, they both do a great job. So today I feel like using the fireplace. So I'm gonna take some white oak kindling here, some newspaper, and we're gonna let it rip. Okay, lighting off the Napoleon NZ26 zero clearance fireplace. While we're getting this going, I should mention that not only am I a big fan of burning wood and the various appliances that I have, it's just a cozy heat. I love burning wood. But also part of this channel is the restoration and refinishing of old stoves, which I've done plenty of. Wish I had filmed a lot of them in the past, but I didn't. So coming up in the pipeline, I have a freestanding stove out in the barn, which could stand to be refinished. It's a pre-EPA. That will be, it's a little rough. It's not bad, but it could stand to be refinished. It's an old Sierra wood stove. I also have a potbelly coal stove, which we'll be refinishing, and hopefully I can take you along on that process. We will disassemble it, treat any rust, navel jelly, vinegar, electrolysis, take your pick, whatever the situation calls for, prime it if we have to, and then we'll treat it with some high temp paint. Make sure it's sealed up, seal up any cracks or gaps with rope gaskets, wood stove cement, things of that nature, and maybe use it, maybe flip it for modest profit, break even, whatever, it doesn't matter. Mostly doing this for fun, and then we'll start the process over again and do it on another one. So that's my goal with the channel, but in the meantime, enjoy this Napoleon NZ26 as it lights off. Also, this will take a little bit of time, but right about here is a thermal switch that will close the contacts and turn on that fan. I have constant power to that switch right now on a dedicated circuit but it's not doing anything right now because that switch is open. So if you get enough heat in this area right here, you can sometimes get that switch to close a little bit more quickly, but it just takes a little bit of patience, but it'll get there. So I'm going to add some more kindling and enjoy this fire. And you guys all have a great weekend and holiday season if I don't get to post anything before that. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.